Okay, welcome, Robin. So happy you're here. Yeah. So I know
Thank you
you
for
wrote a
having
judgment.
me.
You are welcome. You're welcome. And thank you for doing this because it's useful for people to see somebody doing the work.
Okay,
Awesome. Yes.
great.
Well, tell me about your situation and your judge your
So
neighbor.
I did a judge your neighbor worksheet and
Okay.
I was looking at it. And so I have a traditional judge your neighbor worksheet. And then, um, the thought that keeps coming into my head is I shouldn't be sad.
Ah, okay.
So I, so we could do my judge your,
Yes.
I have an actual event, but the one the feeling, and I know it's difficult sometimes when people are trying to do the work on themselves as opposed to someone else. So
Yes.
you can just tell me which direction you want me to go. If you want me to do
Yes.
the judge your neighbor statement, or I shouldn't feel sad.
Well, let's start with that just to see, what the thoughts are. There's thinking around sadness, of course, and
Mhm.
something is very strongly saying I shouldn't feel that. So let's just start there.
Okay, so um
Is it true you shouldn't feel sad?
no.
No, right. There you are feeling what you feel.
Hmm.
What's the reality? Sadness appears.
Hmm.
What happens when you think I shouldn't feel sad? I mean, and just what do you see? How do you even know that you shouldn't? What kind of images do you see around that? Shouldn't feel sad.
I see myself less enlightened than I
Uh,
want to be.
uh,
I see myself
mm,
how do I try to mentally go through all the things that are wonderful with my life and try to just distract myself from the sadness.
sure. Yeah. Get away from that thing that don't you love seeing something about this isn't enlightened.
Yeah, like I should like oh, if I had been doing the work every single day for the last 15 years, if I
Yeah.
hadn't lost track of that, then I wouldn't be sad right now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a little bit of beating myself up about not being in a space where I wouldn't be sad.
So good to see. Yeah. And this sense of sadness. Like, so if you just didn't know, if you didn't have the story, I shouldn't be sad, and you still let that feeling come in, like notice your situation, notice the feelings. If you didn't know that was called sadness and you shouldn't be it,
I think that I would maybe look at it more as being a little bit sick or something and realizing that I need some extra sleep, realizing that I need some extra self-care and not and maybe thinking, oh, you've got this little bug and so it's not realistic for you to want to be bouncing off the walls with excitement right now. You're sick.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe I would more akin it to like a to something like that where you don't beat yourself up for being sick usually.
yeah,
Um that might feel a little bit more gentle.
nice. It's funny, it makes I think some people do beat themselves up for being sick, so it's like it'll take anything and say it's the wrong thing. But I hear from you, like you wouldn't look at it that way. There'd just be this condition that's come along, and you'd be sitting with it, and you wouldn't have to attack yourself about it, beat yourself about it. There's nothing wrong with you. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
It's an experience, noticing without the thought, I shouldn't be whatever this is.
And I wouldn't be like almost like trying to run away from it, right? And searching for anything like legitimate internet searching, scrolling, anything to try to not be it. I
Oh,
shouldn't be sad.
yeah.
And so instead of sitting with it and accepting that that's where I am, I'm just trying to like,
Yeah.
I'm almost manic about it, right? Like, do this, like, fix it,
Yeah.
looking for a solution.
Yes. I mean, yeah, I can relate. I love seeing that, an experience happens and that feel it in the body, and then I want to run. Feels frightening. I mean, just to notice sadness, says your mind, is a frightening thing. But without the thought, what if just anything your mind is saying about sadness isn't true?
Interesting to think of it like that, right? Thank
Yeah.
you for letting me do this one.
Oh,
This
you're
just,
so, yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes it's just that first seeing, and quick, I need to do the work to get rid of the sadness, so I love that you,
100%. Why do you think
yeah,
I'm here?
yeah.
Right?
Yes. And the weird paradox of it all, because I am curious, because the mind's talking about something around this sadness and that I shouldn't have it, and that I'm even frightened of it. But let's turn it around first. Okay, I shouldn't be sad. I shouldn't be sad. Maybe I should be. So it's the simple opposite.
I should be sad. There's been there's been a loss in my life.
Yeah. Doesn't that feel okay?
No, it makes me feel more sad, but yes, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, like kind of an unconditional, sense of like maybe something in it isn't pleasant, or I know this isn't happy, but unconditionally being with it, I'm human. I should be sad if I am. I mean, I love the example because I am. And maybe not all of me is, so that's an interesting piece too. Like every single, I mean, just I can see it's something that's working with the experience of what's happened. But yeah, I feel loss.
I feel lost. Yeah.
So, well, let's see what it is, because it's just, I like that in a spirit of curiosity, not trying to change the situation or the sadness. I'm willing to feel sad. I'm willing to have this appear. I don't need to change it.
Well, it feels, I mean, it feels much more peaceful because it's just something that is. And I feel like I've been expelling an insane amount of energy trying to fix this,
Oh,
that like it's distracted me from anything from so many other things in my life. Like all I do is try to fix this sadness. So, I
yeah,
mean, I do the work, I read a book, I meditate,
yeah.
24/7, let's fix the sadness.
Oh, yeah,
And it's all encompassing.
yeah.
It doesn't allow for anything else. It feels very,
It's a lot of work.
yeah. And it's exhausted. I'm exhausted.
Yeah. So, I mean, even just feeling that, oh, if it's okay to be sad, I should be, because I am. What's the reality? Sadness has appeared.
It's it's that's in some ways that's much easier to sit with than I have to fix it.
Yeah, I sure found that, and I get your experience. It'll, had those kinds of thoughts. This feeling isn't okay. It's not enlightened.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
better than this. I've been doing the work for a long time. You
Yes.
know, I do everything right. Why am I feeling like this?
Yes. Well, let's look a little at, where it appears, and like what it seems, what's the loss?
A relationship.
Okay. So I've lost that relationship.
Mhm.
Okay. Is it true? Let's see. I've lost that relationship. Is it true?
No,
How'd you find that no there?
because I'm so enlightened, Grace. Come on. No, because I have worked this thought quite a bit already, and I haven't lost this relationship. I mean, I have the memories of this relationship. I have the love that I felt during this relationship. I have the experiences that I've gained from this relationship and such. So, um, and right in this moment, I might not have it in my hands right now, but that doesn't mean that the relationship isn't going to morph into something different and better. So I
Hmm.
so I can look at it, and I mean, I can look at it from the different angles and I have.
Okay. All right. So what happens when you're thinking, I've lost this? I've lost this relationship. And you notice that sadness rise, or, the everything about losing.
It feels all encompassing, like the loss is bigger than everything else in my life. Does that make sense? Like it feels like, all right, if you look at it like a forest, right? One tree is burned down, but there's still so much other forest. And all I can focus on is the burnt spot where the tree no longer is. Like I
Mhm.
can't see. It's it's like I have blinders on for anything else. That's how it feels.
Okay. It sounds like it's a funny, so you see only this loss, and you also hate that you're seeing it, like, or I don't like that I'm seeing it, and I'm trying to make myself see the trees too, like funny
Yeah,
at the same time.
that's exactly right. Because
Yeah.
I think that it feels like I should know better.
Yeah.
Like I should know better than to just be focusing on this burnt spot. I think that it feels like I've got to take action
Mm.
to look or to, okay, let's focus. Let's try to take these blinders off and look at this other tree. But holy cow, I can't really do that because I'm trying to focus on this other tree, but my my being is back in that spot that was burned.
Yeah. 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 I mean, just good to notice that it does have some, I shouldn't be here. I'm looking. I know there's other trees out there. I'm staring at this, and I'm panicked about staring at this. Like, I'm doing everything I can. How do I react to, I've lost something? I go kind of into frantic mode.
Yeah, I become manic is how I can, how I can
Yeah.
describe, like, oh, let me just focus,
Yeah.
anything not to look, anything not to focus, not to look at that burn spot.
Yeah. So,
And that doesn't feel peaceful.
right. No, it doesn't sound like it. Yeah. I really get that you're saying it's not peaceful. So, what if you just kind of relaxed oddly, staring at the burnt spot if you are? It sounds like you also see the other trees. You're looking. And you didn't do anything. You just let it be the way it is. I've lost the relationship. Just sitting with it. I've lost the relationship.
Well, it doesn't feel peaceful, but it feels more peaceful than being frantic and manic around trying to fix the situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
It feels in some ways more sad, but less stressful.
Yeah. Powerful. Yeah. Stay with that sadness. I mean, just you don't even, that's not even a directive like you need to, or but just being with it. It's okay that it's there. Yeah. I've lost the relationship.
Maybe there isn't anything to fix, and I'm feeling sad.
Yeah. Makes me think of animals in nature. Sometimes they, you know, if one of their companions or one of their offspring or something, I mean, I know they do all kinds of crazy stuff, animals like that, you know, look like, well, what's going on over there? But they sometimes howl. And we don't say they shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, they grieve too, even
And we
without
usually,
stories.
and we usually think of them as very close to what, like not full of lots of story, you know, at
Right.
all.
That's
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, they don't have, they're not grieving because they have a story around it. They're just
Yeah.
straight up grieving.
Yeah. Like I just do notice grief, heartbreaking grief appears to exist in reality, you know. And it changes, it moves. I mean, its own time. So, turnaround. I've lost a relationship with myself, especially when it comes to sadness.
Well, an example of that is me not allowing myself to be me and to feel the sadness, not or trying to turn away from the sadness instead of just. I love your animal example. It doesn't feel wrong for them to do these things. It's a basic reaction. It's a basic feeling or whatever, and instinct almost. And
Yeah.
So by not allowing myself to sit with my sadness, I feel like I'm trying to change or to steer my relationship with myself in a direction that doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah. Just like an open, unconditional acceptance. I've lost that of myself,
Right.
with myself. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A relationship has lost me. I mean, just see with that particular, that relationship lost me. In other words, sometimes in that loss, it feels like it's, a relationship has moved away from me or been taken away. Did I move away or step out or not
Oh,
come?
absolutely. They absolutely did. I mean, it wasn't, nothing was taken from me. Nothing, no one else took something from me. I took it from myself. I didn't lose the relation. I guess I chose to lose the relationship.
Mm,
I
okay.
don't know if that's a turnaround, but I I don't know. Maybe that doesn't resonate as well as
That might be,
maybe I'm trying to overthink it.
you might be still in the turning it around to the self, like my perspective over here. Did the losing, did something happened and I've lost touch with myself? And it's like just seeing if there's any way that it makes sense that there's a turnaround. Like it feels like it happens to us and then something left us, something isn't there anymore that I valued. And is there any place I can find where maybe I did it before the thing even happened, the end even happened? Did I, and maybe or maybe not, it doesn't have to be before, but did I leave them, that relationship?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it's very clear that I did. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a powerful thing to see, like, yeah, that just some part of me, it doesn't mean it was wrong. Like it might have
Right.
been just I had this leaving. Yeah, I was moving away. I thought they moved away from me, and or I see it that way, and I can also see it the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the one cutting something off or leaving or moving away, and they didn't. You know, I didn't lose this relationship. I think you kind of were seeing some of that already because it sounds like the work you've done already, but I didn't lose the relationship. And even see right now, I didn't lose anything from this experience. How could that be true?
Well, I was living a very fulfilling life before the relationship, so it was something that came in and added value. And then now I'm back to baseline, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, but it was, so I can look at it that way. What's the question again?
Yeah, no, that's good. I didn't lose. I didn't lose. I'm kind of where I was before and
Okay.
less. All
It's
right.
so funny how you get inside of yourself and then all of a sudden, like,
Right.
what am I
I know.
questioning again?
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
know. How about like even thinking of it as, because there'd be something I gained out of this experience.
Oh, absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I have that I have a lot of examples of that where I can look and I say, okay, I gained, you know, I fell in love with somebody.
Uh-huh.
And I had love in my life. I still have love in my life, but I had more love in my life, and I gained that.
You noticed how much you loved that connection and that. Yeah. And as it moved and it seems like that person isn't present, is there anything you received from that that seems favorable? You know, not like a slap turnaround, but I got something from this. Sometimes you can't see it yet until it's been a while.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm there yet.
Yeah, totally okay, you know. Yeah, it's like I look at my my first husband, and it was like I could guess maybe, or maybe what I'm getting, so it wasn't really but I could find the incredible turmoil and the heartbreak and the fear. And then as time went by, I saw things that were gained from it, you know, like that relationship that had been missing within myself, or
So
even
you're saying you gained, are you talking about gaining from the relationship or gaining from the loss? Or maybe from both?
both,
Right.
both. Like I could see this appreciation, but like, you know, for the relationship, and then also just the quote unquote loss. And we're not like sort of making up that it wasn't a loss at all, because it feels like that, you know, but actually to see that it began to feel like a gain, you know.
Okay.
So it could be possible here. It's like
Yes.
you sense there could be something. I got so much from it, and then I learned this much, and then it moved on to this other place, and then this happened, and it was amazing. And I can really see it now after a lot of time has gone by, because the examples just would come and come of like something was gained through that, you know, just really seeing, and not all black and white, you know,
Darn
not
it.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, seeing that. So it was like, I mean, it's just sort of letting yourself see how you're okay. You know, I saw that I could survive. I saw that it didn't kill me, even though my heart felt broken. I getting back in touch with my own grief and sadness was pretty powerful.
Yeah. I mean, even I think we use work as like emergency, what sometimes we use this work as something like, oh my gosh, this is going through. I'm going to jump back into this work. Right.
Yes.
And anytime I do the work and such, it's always meaningful. So even just bringing me back to a space where I'm reinvigorated to do the work is a positive.
Oh, that's a great example. Right. I really want to know myself. It's brought me closer to that. I kind of had a loss of myself, and I want it saying, hey, go over here, you know, connect with you. Look at your story, you know, look at what's happening. It's not wrong. It's not a wrong story. It's just there, you know, before us, kind of seeing. I've got those glasses on, and it says all loss.
Right. All us.
Yeah. But I
The whole
can't.
forest burned
Yes.
down, even though
Yes.
it didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, you know, when it's immediate and something's happened and it feels filled with the emotion of it, I just love not pushing the emotion away, just letting that emotion be present. Because what's the reality? There is that emotion. If I didn't think it was wrong, which is just a concept, you know, it just move like it almost can feel amazing to just sob and like let it go to the end of run its course. You don't know when it's gonna be over. And then it does end. That's the amazing thing. You think you'll start crying and you'll just keep crying and crying and crying, but it ends. You know, it just comes, it's in waves. It's
Yes.
moving. It's got a movement to it.
Yeah.
But so let's see one more, just like something that it might have come out in your, maybe number 6 on your judge your neighbor. I don't ever want.
To feel this hurt again.
Okay. Aw, yeah. I don't ever want to feel this hurt again. So I don't ever want to feel this hurt again. Okay, just first answer, is it true?
Yes.
Okay. I don't ever want to feel this. Now, can you absolutely know that it's true? And can you absolutely know that this is hurt? Can you absolutely know I never want to feel this again?
It's still yes. I don't want to ever feel this again.
Okay, that's all right. It's totally okay. And notice what happens when you believe I don't ever want to feel this again.
Makes me absolutely, completely closed off from ever thinking about another relationship. It
Yeah.
makes it, yeah.
Don't want to like anybody. Everyone stay away. I'm never going out. I don't want to meet people. I don't like humans, period. Totally. Yeah.
That's how
So,
I feel. I never want to feel this
yeah.
way. It makes me scared of everything. Like it's scared. Like
Oh,
if I hurt this way about this, what would happen if I lost my son? What would happen? I mean, it's fearful.
yes. Yes. I mean, just noticing that. So amazing. Yeah. I see myself unable to handle or like live through or whatever some incredible loss, some huge loss, death even.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of predicting that in the future, if this is what this is like. So if you just didn't know, who would you be without the story? I don't ever want to feel this again. It's not safe to feel this. I can't handle feeling this. What if you couldn't have that?
I guess it drastically takes me out of the present moment. It doesn't. It feels like it's, I mean, it it I'm in a place of fear.
Uh-huh.
And if I take that out and that fear away, I'm just sitting on my couch looking outside at all the snow. And I mean, it's very, very stark contrast between feeling the fear and feeling the fear and living not in the moment, if you will.
Yeah. So just
The
imagine.
fear is overwhelmed. The fear is like crippling.
Yeah. I totally get it. Which
I
is,
almost think that the feeling of ever feeling like this again is more painful the than feeling like I am now, right? Like it's like the thought of what I'm gonna of that this might not be the last time that this happens. That I
right.
have like that's almost more stressful than even just the fact that I'm in it right now.
I found that. Yeah. Get it. Yeah. So could you just find, even if you don't feel it fully, I'm willing to feel this again. So all that work and all that tension and all that terror about this thing called loss, this feeling of sadness and grief, like, could I be willing to feel this?
It's extraordinarily small. Extraordinarily small.
Yeah. Yeah. You could even just find it
Yeah,
in
it's
the
so
small.
interesting. Like I'm sitting here trying to think how I can put safety nets in place all throughout my life so that I don't ever feel this way again.
Yeah.
Always taking the safe road. Always.
Yes. Well, my mind has done the same thing, but it's so exhausting.
I am exhausted.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good reason all in itself to be willing to just let it be the way it is. Feel it the way it is. I'm willing to be hurt like this. Just the tiniest little drop, just because it might not be so exhausting. Yeah. I don't know if you can find this, but sitting here and like considering it with you, like that, how that is to have something really heartbreaking, just something feels so devastating happen, and I'm willing to feel this barely, barely, I mean, but that I could be willing, even if I can't look forward to it, like with that other turnaround that we do sometimes in the work.
Mhm.
And that's like just going too far, but I'm willing, because it means I've loved so much. Despite trying to keep the world out and keep things safe, couldn't help it. I have fallen in love. I have loved so much. My heart is big. So I'm willing to feel hurt again. Mm. Sure is more powerful than the alternative, just like making your feelings very tiny, which I've done too. Mm. So you start there and let it just percolate in there. Don't have to look forward to it yet.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's beautiful work.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, very touching. Very big.
Thank you.
Yeah. Right.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Have a
Appreciate
wonderful
it.
afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.